Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today what I'd like to do is to talk about watches that are the most affordable. I'm not saying they're real affordable, but they're the least expensive of watches with a named watchmaker or by a named watchmaker. So let's get started. Now the first one is actually, I don't own one, but it's one of my favorite is Armin Strom. Uh, Here are two. One's called the Regulator Earth, and the best price I could find on that really wasn't too bad, $5,096 at a place called the Real Real. It's got a caliber AS for Armin Strom, R07, 18,000 semi-oscillation per hour. Love that watch. It's a very complex watch. It's called the Regulator Earth. This one next to it's called a Manual Water. They had Manual Water, Earth, Sky, Land. I don't know. Anyway, this is another one. We're going to see a little more about one like this in a bit. This one I found on eBay for $67.88. Now, by the way, a lot of these are negotiable, and especially if they say make an offer, always make an offer. If they don't say anything, whine that you'd like a better price. I don't know. Okay, let's go on, moving right along. Here's the second one of Armin Strom. Now this one, another hand wound one with the AMW11. It's called Manual Earth's Saltec Edition. I'm not sure what the Saltec Edition is, but it looks interesting. The AMW11 looked really interesting, so I included that. And there's this little around the balance in the balance cock. It's more like a balance bridge, and then there's sort of this ring around it that's engraved. I just like that. It's sort of neat. The AMW hand wound, 18,000 semi-oscillations per hour, 120-hour reserve. Okay, now I was at that. Well, I'm all finished talking about Armin Strom. Those will give you some leads. And again, these are the most affordable ones I could find. Then I get this thing on my email from eBay. I've been looking at some stuff on eBay, and it says, these are now make an offer. And these were ones that, again, Armin Strom, and there are two of them, and they were called Armin Strom Configured Manual. I'm not sure what that means, but I figured it was part of the manual group that they had. And these were brand new. They come in a box. I put the picture of the little box that comes in with all the paperwork and everything. And one was $9,982, and the other one is $11,028. But again, when they say make an offer, and I'm not saying, well, I'll give you $981. I'm talking about make a real offer, $6,000-$7,000. What are they going to tell you? No, they said to make an offer. And on the 11,000 one, same thing. Make an offer if you want it. But I think it'd be very cool to have a brand new, in the box with the papers, Armin Strom. I would like one too. I'm in enough trouble now. Okay, moving right along. Now, this next brand is another favorite of mine, is Daniel Roth. And again, this is for adding a top watchmaker to your collection. And these may cost what you, let's say, double what you normally pay, even triple what you may normally pay. But yeah, I figured, well, I'll take, instead of getting these three for $2,000, I'll get this one for $1,000. Now it turned out that the ones with the best buys are and this is of course my opinion of what the best buys are, two I happen to have. See if I got them here. No, I don't. Anyway, this first one is a Premier Retrograde by Daniel Roth. Daniel Roth came out with the new ones, 20,000 or something, not 20,000, not more like 50 or 80,000. And so I thought, well, here's you can get your mitts on a Daniel Roth for these lower prices. And again, you'd have a really interesting watch. Now, this is in what they call a double ellipse case. And it's sort of like someone started making a rectangular case and said, well, I'll put a top on them and a bottom on it. They're called the double ellipse, elliptical curvex case. Caliber DR700. Now, this is based on a Lemania 27NL Bosch, 4 hertz, 28,800 semi-oscillations per hour, 48-hour reserve. The calendar down there at 6 o'clock is a hand date. I like hand dates. And the way you set it, somebody had one and they said, oh, I really like it, but the date's broken. Well, the date's not broken, it turned out. What you do to set the date is you turn it counterclockwise. Instead of turning it like you're winding, you set it to the second stop, and then you turn it backwards and it'll go around for you. Wonderful watch. I love this watch. It's one I have. There's some available. They're in different, they have, beside the black, they have a white dial. I happen to have the white dial. Now, this next one is another Daniel Roth that I also have. And this is one of the things where you can see a watchmaker doing a lot of interesting things with it. Now, this is 1230s. Now, this is, I mean, you have the city you're in, and it can either be at the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. And then you have one that is 12 hours different. For example, they have Tokyo, and then at the bottom is Rio de Janeiro. And they're exactly 12 hours apart. And then between the 1 and 11 in the middle there, you have it says AM or PM. And then at the bottom, you have it pointing to which one it is. And so right now, it would be about 8 minutes after 10 a.m. in Rio. Now, at the other end, it would be p.m. in Tokyo. So it's just sort of a cool thing. The other thing about it that is really neat is that on the side, you have this W and S. And the W is for winter, the fall time when you fall back. And all you have to do with this one, they have a little pin pusher on the side. They're also called correctors. And you push it, and it'll jump back an hour instead of having to wind the thing. Same thing is true with the S. It's spring ahead. You pop it, and the old hour hand goes ahead, and you don't have to do very much to it. Just a cool thing. DR700 movement. Again, it's based on a Lemania 27NL. But what the part of the watchmaker here is that it has so many interesting things it does. Also has a pusher down there about 4 o'clock, and you push it until you find your city. New York is the one I'm using for my time zone, and it is at the bottom. And then at the top is Bangkok, Thailand. Sort of a fun watch, too. And again, it has the elliptical curvex case to it. Now, this next one is people sometimes, I don't think they realize what a good watchmaker Richard Habring is. Now, I know Richard Habring and his wife Marie worked together, but before they started Habring II, name of the company, two referring to both Richard and Marie, Richard Habring worked for IWC, I believe, and developed a doppel, which is another one for another name for, I think it's like a German name for a rattrapant, which is a French for the split seconds. Now, this one isn't the split seconds. This is really sort of the entry level. There, in the United States, there are two dealerships, one on the East Coast, and actually when I got my Felix, my original one, I got it on the East Coast from Martin Pulley. Now on the West Coast, is Horology by the Sea. It's really a neat place too. Just fun to poke around because they have some unusual watches. They have all of the different harboring too, but all of them say pre-order. I've got to tell you, they're popular. Here you have a watch. They make about 200 a year of they don't make very many in this little town in Austria. They've won 4 Grand Prix awards. So and again, here you have this top level watchmaker available. Now, so this is a Felix, and this one is 5,500. Again, I normally always say negotiate. This is the only watch brand I've never even tried to negotiate on. Because the prices are very good, and it's just wonderful workmanship on it. One thing too, the hairspring is by Karl Haas. That's a German hairspring maker who is also very good. I'm trying to think who else is. Some other really top German watchmakers also use Karl Haas. Now, another one, this is the doppel. That the interesting thing about the doppel was that when Richard Harbring was at IWC, they had some kind of thing, and they said, well, let me try it with this mechanism. And apparently, I don't know whether they went for it or not, but apparently, I don't think they did. Anyway, so when Richard Harbring left, I guess the patent was with IWC, or it made some kind of deal with it. I'm not sure what it was, but finally he was able to develop it exactly the way he wanted to. Now this is more expensive. These are $10,300 pre-order again, and this is from Horology by the Sea. If this is just the United States, you could probably do the same thing any place you can order Harbring to, including the home shop in Austria. This is, again, I'm not a huge fan of a chronograph, but wow, this doppel is really a nice watch. And again, here you have by a known watchmaker. Now, this next group, Roger Dubuis. Roger Dubuis is, in fact, I'm wearing one now. This is my Lamani Gasp. Roger Dubuis, the thing about Roger Dubuis is part of a collection, is that, first of all, it's by a very well-known and well-respected watchmaker in Roger Dubuis. The other part is, so many of his watches have the Geneva seal. I've got 2 watches with Geneva seals. This one, and then I have my my first Vacheron Constantin, 1921. That one also has a Geneva seal. But these are under 5,000, and you can find, this is an Easy Diver. An Easy Diver is a great sports watch, just a general sports watch. It's good for very much. It's got a rubber strap on it, so you can get it wet, do all kinds of things with it. Neat watch, and it has sort of these little peek outs that are from a sympathy design that he had. You can tell what caliber is in a Roger Dubuis because he has it printed right on the movement as well as on the side, on the rim of the back. So they're very proud of the fact that they have a Geneva seal, which means they're also a chronometer. Now the final one is La Monégasque. Now the one I have is in gold, so it was more expensive, and but in my opinion, it was worth every penny of it. This one is in steel, and it's, again, a wonderful watch. This one is $84.99. Again, this is something you'd want to negotiate. not long ago, I found one of these for 6,000 something, and I was surprised it didn't get snatched up right away. So you can, this thing is possibly available. Now, the movement in this one is the RD821. The one in the Easy Diver is called the RD14. RD, of course, is for Roger Dubuis. Anyway, these are watches in case you say, I want to have a watch by a real watchmaker that is I'll say roughly affordable. I mean, it's not like real affordable, but some of them are under 5,000. Not a lot, but some. Anyway, I would very much like to hear your opinion of this and your comments, and it's an opportunity to subscribe if you like. Until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection.